What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to Shit Talking Tuesday. We're your hosts, Mariah, Ty, and TL. What's up, my guys? Happy Tuesday. How you guys doing?
I'm doing pretty
Doing
good.
good. How y'all doing?
Hanging in.
Yeah,
Still
even
feeling
though
like
Yeah.
shit, but perfect
yeah,
for Shit Talking Tuesday.
yeah, even though our Niners lost, I won some money on Sunday because some of these spreads, man, were just too good to be true. Like
You had to jump on it.
I had to jump on it. I did a four team parlay, and everybody was looking at my parlay like, you bet on those teams. So I took Carolina +6. They ended up dogging the Raiders out. I took Eagles +2. I took who else did I take? I took the Giants to cover the spread against the Browns, and then I took Baltimore to beat Dallas. Cause that -1 for Baltimore it didn't make sense. I'm like, they're playing in Dallas 0-2, but I always say if it's too good to be true, it probably is.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Chat, what's up? Hope everybody's doing great. Throwback, Don, appreciate you both as always. Niakila, what's good? Jimmy, Rob, what up? Bebop Baroni, what's good? What's good? Everybody out there that watches on replay, that's out there watching, that's not in chat, that's watching on Twitter. Um, what's up? We appreciate you all as well. So yeah, as you guys know, and if you were watching my show our show yesterday, or can hear, like, I feel like shit. I didn't think I would make it through a whole show yesterday, but somehow we managed to get through. So yeah,
Because you're a
I'll
pro.
try. I'll push through as long as I can. If you guys just see me randomly disappear, I'm probably hacking my lungs out or snotting or something like that, and I'll be back. So that's that. Um, normally on Tuesdays, on Shit Talking Tuesdays, we don't do giveaways, but since TL's here with us, we kind of just joined both shows. We will do a few giveaways today, later on throughout the show. So stay tuned. I'll let you know when it's time. But yeah, obviously we know, the 49ers lost to the Rams, a game they shouldn't have lost, a game that they literally were winning for like 59 fucking minutes and somehow lose. Just total disgusting. Like, we can talk about, oh, the 49ers are injured and they didn't have this person and that person and this person. Well, guess what? The Rams were more injured.
Yeah,
So
Yeah,
there's
that had nothing
literally
to do with it.
no freaking excuse.
Yeah.
It was just a shit show, like, I don't know what's going on with this team. The defense is just like, we have, like even last week we had Fred Warner that showed up out of an entire defense. Like, you're not going to win freaking games like that.
mm-mm.
This week you had Jawan Jennings and Purdy that showed up, and literally nobody else on the fucking offense wants to show up. The defense doesn't want to show up. It's just a special teams is complete shit show, like total ass. Like, fire fucking everybody involved with special teams. I'm so sick of it. Like, it goes back further than Kyle, but Kyle's entire tenure here, special teams has been ass. Like, you're
Yes.
giving up fake punts. You're like, last week you had a block punt. You're missing field
Yep.
goals. You're letting the other team have huge freaking returns on you. Like, it's just freaking is ridiculous. Talk to me. How are you guys feeling about this shit?
Go ahead, Ty.
It's that bullshit. No.
Yeah.
It's like you said. It's just, to me, the game wasn't that bad. It had its usual Rams 49ers ups and downs. We were in control until the 57th minute. And then at the 57-minute mark, it's like the wheels fell off. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong in all three phases. And we just sat back and was like, is this really happening? Is this really happening? Because I was okay even when they scored and took the lead and we got the ball, it was like 150 something left. Did they get the lead or tie it? Whatever it was. and we got the ball. It was like 1:53 on the clock, and I'm like, plenty of time. Brock's gonna go out there, cook, we'll score, game over. Whew, let's get out of here. And then Ronnie Bell happened. And then it was like, ain't no way, fam. And then the kick return happened. And it was like, ain't no way, fam. And then the deep throw, it was like, ain't no way, fam. It was just a whole lot of that.
That guy with that kick return have never touched a football in a live football game before in his freaking
You know
life.
what I'm saying?
And we're letting them return on us in the most crucial time of a football game. Like,
yeah, it was just crazy. And that's kind of part of the wheels falling off. It's like, what is going on? It was unexplainable. It was crazy. It's not the way we wanted to leave LA. That's for sure. You know, Levi South, packed, sea of red, fans going crazy. That was not the way that game should have ended.
yeah.
That's okay. Well, I got a lot of to unpack on this impact on this game. So let me tell you what's going on. So first, let me get a shout out to Brock Purdy. Because I've been saying for a while, like, that 3-game losing streak we had last year, showed me something that I was like, man, I was like, can things go? Can he be elite? Can he go out there and put the team on his back when things aren't perfect? Well, he did that. He had an excellent game. Him and Juwan Jennings were just on demon time. So shouts out to Brock, shouts out to Juwan Jennings for how they played. Even though Brock had that fumble, he played a great game in my opinion. He had 40 yards rushing, threw 3 touchdowns. I mean, those are the things that you like to see in a starting quarterback who is going to be prepared to get $50 to $60 million a year. When things aren't always perfect, you go out there and you perform. And he did that. He did it on Sunday. So I want to see that more consistently when things aren't perfect, instead of that 3-game losing streak we had last year where he to me looked lackluster. So, so I'll say that here. And here's the thing, like, I'm a diehard Michigan Wolverines fan. Ronnie Bell screwed up. My 14-year-old daughter could have caught that football. I don't know what the thing is. He's on his own head. However, even though I blame him for that drop, I blame Kyle more. And here's why. Jacob Cowling and Chris Conley outperformed that man all preseason, all training camp. Why is he out there when other guys were performing way better?
Exactly.
So these dudes, these people, these fans out here love to sit here and be like, oh, stop talking about Kyle. Stop criticizing my coach. Well, he deserves criticism. Because I don't care what you trust Dominic Pooney. Start trusting some of your other rookies, because Jacob Cowling would have caught that ball. Chris Conley catches that football. I'm not saying to cut Ronnie Bell off the team. He's the fifth, sixth receiver for a reason.
Right.
He shouldn't be getting more. Matter of fact, I looked at the snap count. Ronnie Bell had 30 snaps. Jacob Cowling had 0. Disgusting. Yeah. Why is he out there when you got other options? Kyle needs to stop being scared about playing these rookies. Play who's the better player, because you hindered us by putting Ronnie Bell out there instead of the better options. So Kyle he is not above reproach. He deserves his criticism too. And this goes for all phases of the game. We sit here and people, half the fan base was kind of on the fence with Steve Wilkes and how he was. Dang. Now look at our defense. I gave props to Sorensen week 1 against the Jets because Garrett Wilson was getting what he wanted for 2 quarters. Then he finally made some adjustments, and then he started putting a stop on Garrett Wilson. So I was like, I gave him kudos. Like, man, that's the kind of defense, that's the kind of adjustments I like to see when you're getting beat. He made the adjustments. Last 2 weeks has been trash. And this all, to me, like I said, we want to sit here and blame players and blame special teams coaches. I'm at the point now where I have to start putting a lot more blame on Kyle. You know what I mean? Because he's the one putting people in these situations. Like you said, Mariah, special teams has been absolute trash since he's been in there. And even before that, but it goes before him. But you still haven't fixed it. We haven't had a good special teams and somebody that's in the backfield that scares anybody in a long time. And then the last thing I'll bring up, and and I want to talk about this, and I hope you don't. If you have it on your list, Mariah, I'll stop. But I give props to Fred Warner, because Fred Warner has been playing solid no matter what. And then I had a discussion the other day about Nick Bosa. I'm not impressed. I haven't seen that man take over a game in a long time. Now, has Ayuk been playing terrible? Absolutely. He needs to get out of his own head too, but we expected this. We all expected that when you hold out, because it's been a pattern. Him and Trent Williams, both haven't looked to how they usually look. We saw that with Bosa, we saw that with Debo. So I kind of expected this with the Ayuk thing. But why does Nick Bosa get a pass when he's been paid? And I haven't seen him take over a game in a long time. And I've tweeted this the other day. I've seen TJ Watt, I've seen Myles Garrett, Trey Henderson from the Bengals, and I get it. I mean, people look, well, they both got the same amount of sacks. Just as you guys know football on here. Sacks don't tell the whole story. I'm talking about taking over a game where you're making the quarterback uncomfortable, where you're making the quarterback having bad throws, making bad decisions. I haven't seen that in Nick Bosa in a long time. So you guys want to sit here and want to dog out Mariah's guy, Brandon Ayuk, for being lackluster in these 3 games. Well, Nick Bosa, I haven't seen it for him for a half a season now. I haven't seen him dominate in a long time. He shouldn't get a pass. He's the highest paid defender, not just pass rusher, defender in football. And somebody tried to tell me, well, he's had 4 different defensive coordinators. He had Saleh, so has Fred Warner, and Fred Warner is out there doing his thing. And as a matter of fact, as a linebacker, there's more that you need to know on the defense.
More on his plate.
Exactly. Than there is Nick Bosa. Hand in the ground, get to the quarterback. That's your job. It doesn't matter what
you got one job.
Thank you. Fred Warner has more on his plate as a linebacker, being a center fielder, being in the middle of that defense. So, yeah, there's just a lot to unpack here. But yeah, it was a horrendous loss. But yeah, I'm gonna put a lot of blame on Kyle because there's just some stuff that he's doing as far as especially he's the one who's everybody says he's the one who gets final say. His final say right now, as far as special teams coaches, defensive coordinators, putting Ronnie Bell out there as a 6th receiver when you know that Conley and Jacob Kelly have been outperforming him for months. That's on you, Kyle. Yep. So that's what I got there.
That's the thing. Is there any fucking accountability? Like you say, you haven't seen Nick Bosa show up in a half a year or like half a season. I haven't seen him show up in multiple seasons now. Like he's never been the guy that when you need somebody to take over a game, he's going to do it. He doesn't. You're getting paid to do that. At your position, you should be doing that. And we can't count on him to ever fucking come through. Like it's ridiculous. Like you're making so much freaking money. And like we talk, like, I don't care. Like I want the players to get paid, but at what point do you you're paying all these stars and none of the stars are showing up?
Nope.
Like it's literally the guys that are getting paid the least, like CMC fucking held out this offseason for a freaking raise, gets a raise, and now probably won't even play the entire fucking season. I'm not planning on seeing him at all this season. Now he's in Germany. Like,
yeah, exactly.
You held out for a raise knowing that you weren't right. That didn't just happen after you got the fucking raise.
Yeah.
This is something that's been like that. You knew about that, yet you still held out for a fucking raise. Brandon Ayuk, you're holding out for a fucking raise. Now show the fuck up. You posted all these videos like you were working out when you weren't with the team. This isn't your first time working with this quarterback. You don't have to grow some rapport with him. You have it.
Yeah.
There's
no fucking excuse. Like Purdy is literally dropping the ball perfect to these fucking guys, and they're dropping it.
Not the Ayuk. not yesterday.
Not every fucking throw has been off to Ayuk. There's no fucking excuse.
He had 2 quote unquote drops, and those balls were behind him.
Out of all 3 games?
I'm just talking about Sunday.
Well, I'm not. So if you're gonna cut me off,
let's not act like he's dropping
about.
Every ball. We got to keep it real. I know we're heated and everything, but we got to keep it real. He's not dropping everything out there.
He hasn't showed up. A $30 million wide receiver hasn't showed up on that fucking field.
Tell his quarterback to throw him the ball, though. How many times is he wide open and not getting the ball?
His guys that he's supposed to be blocking in the run game are the ones breaking through. So don't act like he's not. He's out there doing his job. He's not, Ty.
He is. So when he was wide open, why didn't the quarterback throw him the ball? He was wide open for a touchdown. Whose fault is that?
That was on Purdy, but you know, and like I said, I'm not gonna nitpick
Not every
because
fucking throw is
you're
Purdy's
not.
fault.
Yeah, we're not gonna, you know, and it's hard, you
If you
know.
don't throw him the ball, though, when you're looking at him, that's your fault.
They talked about that was one fucking play in 3 games.
But nope, there's been other plays where he's done the
And
same.
Kyle talked about that already.
Okay, but if you
Like,
see your
I'm the biggest fucking
receiver
Brandon Ayuk
running
fan there is.
open and you don't throw him the ball, you
Let me
can't
know when I
blame the
can talk.
receiver. This is all I'm saying. If I'm running wide open and the quarterback doesn't throw me the ball, you can't look at me and say, bro, you ain't doing your job. I got open. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from, Ty. But you know, I'm
Right?
thinking like overall, you look at what's going on. Like Brock Purdy has played solid, and Brandon Ayuk has been lackluster more than good. You know what I'm
Brock's
saying?
been
But I
balling.
will say, I mean, and like I said, you know, we can. I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but we can nitpick the quarterback situation. Be like, oh man, why did he hit? You know, that was one play. But like I said, you know, when you looking at the great quarterbacks who's going to be probably one to be the highest paid, he can't just like he stared Brandon Ayuk down and didn't throw him the football. I see what you're saying. Like he was that probably would have ended the game. But at the same time, too, yeah, there were some throws that were this. But if you look at it, you know, you look at the whole thing as a whole. I don't put that on Purdy
Well,
for you know for the game he
no.
had. You know what I'm
My
saying? Like
thing
you
is
know,
it goes both ways
it
though.
does, it does. And
Like
like, and Collie is right. Like, you know, it's been multiple games now where Purdy, and I don't know, and I'm not gonna sit here and try to get in people's head because I don't know if it's a trust thing. I don't know what the situation is, but you do look at it and it's like, man, like, you know, that's your guy out there. And Mariah's right. You have rapport with them. You stared him down for a few seconds, just let it rip. Like I
yeah.
mean, I don't know. Like I don't know what the situation is. I think they'll get it right, but yeah, it's just been. But Ayuk, to me, I agree with Mariah on the sense too. It is more on him because he's looking very lackluster. But I think that throw to what was it to over the middle to Tre'Davious White was
Mhm.
covering him. Remember the
Yeah.
ball hit Tre'Davious White in his face mask or helmet or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
So I don't put that as a drop on Ayuk.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what
what
I'm
I'm
saying?
saying. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying, where it goes both ways. Like they both have to be in sync. Like that first one, it was like a 4-yard slant that Ayuk ran, and Purdy threw it to him, and it was a bit behind him, but it still hit him in his hands. So to me, that's on both. One,
Yeah.
Purdy's got to give him a better ball. Two, Ayuk, bro, you got to bring that in. It's right here with nobody on you. Even though you're twisting your body and it's tough, you still got to bring that in. So that's on both. The second one on White, once again, it's a play. It's a football play. The ball should have been out front, but it was back here again. But the defender was right on him making a play. So you can't really like blame anyone there. It's football, right? The
Yeah.
defender has a right to make a play too.
Yeah.
So you can't be like, oh, he should have brought that in. He's doing this. But well, look at the circumstances.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying. And Mariah, you can go ahead. But yeah, I think and that just goes to show you, man, because, you know, Mariah and I talked about this, you know, the Super Bowl ended in February when we lost.
Yeah.
Ayuk didn't show up to mini camp, didn't show up to OTAs, you know,
Weren't
training
there at
camp,
all.
preseason, all this
Well,
stuff. So you go from February all the way to the end of August with no kind of rapport. I get they played together. You're going 6 months without practicing routes, you know, throwing him the
yeah.
football. So that's why, and I agree with Call. I think that's why they're out of sync right now. Mariah, go ahead.
Go ahead. You guys are just fine without me, so carry on.
We're
No,
not
I'm
fine
good.
without you. We were just having a discussion here.
This
We
is the
need you, girl.
faithful Lee
You
and
know
I'm
we
like
need
trying
you.
to. I never said it was once just BA. I'm talking about every fucking receiver on the field. I never once put all the blame on BA. I couldn't even get out a full fucking thought of what I'm trying to say before you keep cutting me off, cutting me off, cutting
That's
me
on
off,
me.
cutting me off. Like,
Hey.
let me fucking talk before you start telling me, no, that's not it. No, that's not it. No, that's not it. I wasn't just talking about this game. Like, you didn't let me say shit what I was fucking trying to say. Like, I let you guys talk, and then I come around to my thoughts, and I can't even get out a full fucking sentence.
That's on me. And I sincerely apologize. That shouldn't have happened, and it won't happen again.
It's like,
Yeah,
now I fucking
that's
woke
what
up
happens
my
when
wife.
we
Like
when we
shit
get up,
ain't
we get
fucking cool to
heated
be doing this shit.
discussion. And you see, I'm smiling. I didn't mean anything malicious by it. You know, human nature kind of takes over sometimes. But believe me, you know, I got nothing but the utmost respect for you. And this is beyond football, beyond fan crap. This is friendship we talking about here. So I apologize. Please come back. I mean nothing by it. We need you, girl. Like point blank. So come
No, and
on
I
in
know
and
it's all love. You already
say
know.
what you got to say. Yeah, there's nothing but love.
But like those throws to Ronnie Bell, like literally, there's like TL said, his daughter could have caught those. Like my daughter never even caught a fucking football in her life, and she could have caught those. Like there is no excuse. And you know, like the Ronnie Bell thing frustrates me because in our fantasy group chat, everybody was pissed off when Ronnie Bell made the team. And all talking in there, like, why the fuck he made the team over this person, over that person, over this person? He had all these drops in the offseason. And I'm like, you know, give him a chance. Like last year he came through in games that we needed him to as a rookie. You know, it didn't like, yeah, he had a few drops, but I wouldn't say drops were a problem his rookie season, right? And, you know, I'm like, so he's shown us more that he can catch the football when needed than drop it, right? So I'm like, just give him a chance. Maybe it's just something going on. Maybe he has an injury through the offseason we didn't know about. Nobody, you know, who knows? And now, like, we get into the games and exactly what we saw in training camp through the preseason games carried over into the regular season. And like TL said, like, yeah, like you can blame Ronnie, you can blame Brandon Ayuk. That's your job. Your job is to catch the football. Like I've seen some wide receivers, Justin Jefferson for one, he gets paid top dollar to be the best wide receiver in this league because you know why? He's going to go up and he's going to get that ball. It doesn't matter what shitty quarterback is throwing in the fucking ball, where the ball's at. He'll make a circus catch, go up, get the freaking ball, do what he has to do. When Brandon Ayuk was drafted, so much was made about his long arms. He could be, you know, using those long arms to his advantage, blah, blah, blah. And we always made the excuse. But we have a quarterback that's not letting him. We have a quarterback that's not getting the ball to him. We're always making these excuses. Well, now you held out. You wanted to be a top fucking wide receiver in this league. You wanted to be paid like one. I've done nothing but be the biggest Brandon Ayuk's fucking fan up until this point in my life. Literally. Done nothing all the way through this entire fucking offseason, sat here and said, he deserves it, he deserves it, he deserves it, he deserves it. And then you show up and you haven't fucking shown up. We used to sit here and talk about you being a dog in the freaking run game, and now you're fucking giving up fucking blocks. Like there's no excuse. There's no fucking excuse for it. And you can say the ball wasn't perfectly thrown. Not every ball is going to be perfect. Do fucking better. If the ball's hitting you in your hands, catch it. There's no fucking excuse. You're making $30 million to be paid as a top wide receiver. Act like it. Juwan Jennings ain't fucking making no excuses. He's going up and getting that ball no matter how that fucking ball's coming to him.
He's our best receiver right now, to be honest.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, Purdy, it was a freaking dog in that game. Like he's standing there getting smashed in so many of those fucking throws he's letting off, yet we're expecting him to throw every fucking ball perfect? Half of his fucking O-line doesn't even work.
And it's the left side mostly.
Man.
Let's talk about
it's
that.
a combination of everybody's fucking fault, you know? But if you're going to hold out, and the same thing we said for fucking Bosa last season, the same thing we said for Debo the year before, the same thing we held Kittle, yeah. Fred Warner, and down the fucking line. If you're going to hold out, you're going to miss training camp, you're going to miss off-season activities to get paid what you feel you deserve, by all means, get your fucking bag. But you better show the fuck up. Yeah. And to this point, everybody that holds out doesn't and hasn't.
Oh, on this team.
Yes, on this team.
Because it was funny because we were talking about this at work too, where like, you know, it's funny how, you know, you had somebody like Chris Jones last year for the Chiefs. Set out all everything. Same thing Brandon Ayuk did. Set out week 1. Chiefs get beat by the Lions. He comes back, he gets his payday, and then starts dominating immediately. So what is it? What is up with it when it comes to our guys? Because I've seen it around the league too. Other guys will sit out, come in, and then they're doing their thing. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know what the situation is, but man, it's just we need to get it together. And you know what? Another thing too that I noticed too, and I don't know if you guys agree with this, but I feel like the 49ers, even though the secondary right now on paper, we look at how it looks, we have a slow secondary. We I don't know what it is. Like I feel like our corners is one of the like we have good corners, but we just don't have that speed. I feel like every time we play a receiver that has some speed, they give us issues. You see what Tutu Atwell did to us last week to with Charvarius Ward and stuff like that. We lack we lack some speed right there on the outside, and I think that's something that's why I want Green to start playing more. Get Isaac Yiadom out of there too. That's another one.
Mm-hmm.
Like you see, the man is out there getting dog walked. And that's one thing about Kyle that I cannot stand that I see with everybody else. Like trust the people that you brought in here. And I get it. Like you want to say, oh, I want to go with people I can trust. Oh, Ronnie Bell did this last. I don't care about what you did prior. Like I said, Jacob Cowan and Conley showed all summer
Yep.
that they were the better option, and yet Jacob Cowan gets 0 snaps, and you give Ronnie Bell 30. Makes no sense at all. So yeah, I don't know this team, man. They need to pull their heads out, and I mean quick.
Well, you know they don't like playing rookies, especially Kyle on
That's what I'm
offense.
talking about.
And he made a statement, I think it was today or yesterday, talking about why Cowing isn't playing. Like he's got to learn the playbook a little bit more and
Miss me
know
with
the
that.
nuances. And I'm like, bro, Ronnie Bell ran a 9 route. It was just a 9 route. He just went
Exactly.
straight up the field and adjusted to the ball. You mean to tell me Jacob Cowing doesn't know a 9 route? We saw him in preseason on that same side of the field run a 9 route for a deep throw.
Mm-hmm.
That's like football basics. Hey, son, go out there, run straight, get open.
Yeah.
It doesn't get more simple than that.
And Ty, here's the thing though. And here's the thing. If you say that about Jacob Cowing, what's your excuse about Conley not being in there then? He's been on the team for a few years.
Yeah.
So
And
you can make that point all you want about what Jacob Cowing needs to learn X, Y, and Z. But Conley, he knows the offense. So what's the issue? That's the thing right there about Kyle that bugs me. Like he just does not so he gets in his own way so much.
Oh, so much. Yeah.
He really does, man. He gets in his own way. He overthinks stuff,
Like we can trust Conley in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl, but you can't trust him week 3 against the fucking Rams. Like
Exactly.
You trusted him enough to finally make the team, yet now you're not going to use him. Like,
thank you, Mariah.
It just doesn't make sense. And then when Shanahan was asked about the Ronnie Bell thing, he says, I quote, he had a hell of a camp and week of practice. A hell of a camp? We heard he did nothing but drop the ball all camp, all preseason. We saw with our own eyes him dropping the ball.
Yeah.
Yet that was your reason for playing him over the other guys. Like Cowing got in for 1 return and muffed it. And now he's in the fucking doghouse. We probably won't see him for fucking 2 seasons. So don't count on him coming in.
But the crazy thing was the first Ronnie Bell drop. If you remember that, it was a 4-yard whip route where he went out 4 yards, went this way toward the sideline, then came back. No one around him. Brock hits him right in the hands, and he just drops it. And you're like, at some point, something's got to go off in your brain. Like, all right, something's off. If he can't execute a 4-yard catch, how am I going to trust him to do other things? Chris Conley, number 18, get in there. Get in there.
Exactly.
Let me see you do that. Let me see you do that. You know what? Screw it. Hey, 19, we need you to spell somebody. Get in there. Let me see what you got for a few plays.
Yeah, and Steve-O, we're not saying that having Cowan in there changes the results of the game, but it gives you a chance We're not saying that. Like, we're just saying like you have a depth chart for a reason. Okay. If I sit there and I say I'm keeping these 6 receivers, Steve-O, you're my 6th receiver. Okay. But then I say, you know what? Game is on the line. Game is tight. Let me put my 6th receiver on the depth chart over my 4th and 3rd. What sense does that make? That's what we're talking about. You have a depth chart for a reason. Like Mariah said, you trusted Conley in the Super Bowl. But then week 3 against the Rams in a tight game, you have Ronnie Bell in there who has dropped multiple passes already in the game. So why not take him out and put in somebody who's ahead on your depth chart to go out there and make a play?
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
For me, you know what? Early in the season here, you want to find out who your best players are. Find out early, especially these young guys, just in case you need them later on in the season. So right now is the perfect scenario, right? You're missing one of your top receivers, probably the top receiver right now in Deebo Samuel. You have to think, okay, if this happens later on in the season, who can I turn to? Who's now my new rotation of receivers? Let me give a few guys some opportunities here. Let them get their ops. Let's see who takes advantage of it.
Uh-huh.
And if you see a guy not taking advantage of it, you got to be like, okay, next man.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's get in there. Let's see what you got. Because I seen a little bit of what you can do in the preseason. Let me see you get in there right now, regular season game. If you can duplicate that, go run that same 9 route.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? It's things like that. Go run that little pivot route you ran against the Raiders. Seems to have an aptitude for it, I think. It's things, figuring out things. Like it's the same conversation we had for years with Jordan Mason and how we saw him in the preseason run amok. Hard to tackle. He looks good. But we get CMC and it's like, where's Jordan Mason? Why can't he be run? Why does it have to be that CMC is now injured and cannot play at all that we're getting a good flavor of Jordan Mason now? Goes back to those coaching decisions that both you and Mariah are talking about. What's going on? And what's going on with the in-game adjustments?
On both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Both sides, all 3 phases.
Yeah.
All 3. Like all the coaches need to sit down and look in the mirror at what are they doing?
Yeah. It's just like you guys said too. It's funny how I didn't even put 2 and 2 together or think about that. It was like when you're sitting there and waiting for 57, 58 minutes, and then you just implode the last 2 minutes on all 3 phases. You can't stop the run, and that's another issue. Not stopping the run. Like what's going on with that? Like I thought that was gonna be better. And I'm gonna be honest, if D Winters is healthy come week 4, I'm putting him in for Devondre Campbell.
You talk about a guy that hasn't been impressive
at all.
Like this veteran that's supposed to come in and he's excited and he was playing out of position and all this other stuff and he's happy to be here, bro. Where you at?
Yeah. For all that mess he talked about the Packers, remember? Oh, I'm glad they, I get to go to a team that's gonna use my strengths. Well, where are they?
Yeah,
because I haven't seen anything impressive.
Yeah,
I haven't seen anything impressive.
I ain't seen you enforcing the run, playing zone. You damn sure can't play man. We saw that. I mean, you just running right into dudes. What you doing out there?
Let me ask you guys this: Do you guys think that? And I've heard this on X and stuff, and I don't know if I agree with it yet. But do you think Kyle's offense lacks creativity, to where the fact that people are kind of catching up to his play calling? Because you got to think about it. He is now, him since he's been the coach of 2017, he's given people a lot of coaching jobs. So his offense ain't a secret like it used to. You know what I'm saying? So now, you have like Saleh, you got the D'Amico Ryanses, you got, there's so many people now running something similar from his offense. Now I think that it's, he's starting to put more put more coaches out there. It's more like, okay, this is how we're going to study this. We're going to study it this way. That, you know what I'm saying? So what do you guys think about that?
I don't know. I mean, over half the freaking league is running Kyle's system now. So if you're not continuously changing and we always hear, oh, well, we're adding our wrinkles and we're doing this. Well, wrinkle the motherfucker up because you're not wrinkling it enough. I don't know necessarily, if that's the case or whatever, but shit, at this point, fucking do something. Do something.
Yeah. And the reason why that came up is because that play last night with the Commanders. Jaden Daniels had that fake, and then, he faked to the right, then the offensive lineman came off the line, the left tackle, and he scored that touchdown. People are saying, man, some of these teams are showing a lot of creativity, but Kyle doesn't pull stuff out of his bag like that. Unless to me, I feel like he doesn't pull stuff out unless he's losing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So he wants to get something going. We have seen the double reverse pass to Kittle last year, and the Jennings, the reverse pass in the Super Bowl. And, we've seen things like that from him, but I think just in game, just the creativity and calling different things needs to happen a little bit more. Like, how many times are we going to see the same hitch routes and the same simple crossing routes? And the one thing that always kills me, it's 3rd and 3. Everybody just runs at the sticks and curls.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, run something different. And one thing I noticed this year, especially in the Minnesota game, he was calling the same plays back to back.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, pitch right. Oh, it was a flag on the play. Okay, run it again. Okay, outside zone left. Oh, went for a yard. Okay, we're going to run it again.
Yeah.
They just stopped it.
Exactly my point.
And on the other side of that, the Vikings defensive coordinator, I'm drawing a blank right now, he never ran the same front twice. 1 minute he's rushing forward, the next 3, next 7. He's just Brian Flores is all over the place, switching things up. It's like, Kyle, you got to switch things up too. You got to, it's a chess match. You got to, you know what I'm saying? You're getting beat out there. Make it happen. So I think it's just offensive play calling and execution. Because a lot of these teams are running what we run, and they're putting up 30 points. It's like, why aren't we, the OGs, putting up 30 points? It's your offense.
Yeah.
And it's like execution.
Yeah, none of them should be running your own offense better than you.
Exactly. Well said. What's the deal?
Come on. All right. So for the first giveaway, we got Fred Warner. We have Jair Brown and P. Willie. So hashtag FF if you aren't in there already. I'm drawing Patrick Willis, Fred, then Brown. So good luck. This is for Patrick Willis. Lee.
Oh, shout out to Lee. Congrats, buddy.
Congrats, Lee. Patrick Willis. All right. This is for Fred. Fred just playing on defense all by himself over there.
McNiner.
Congrats.
All right.
The man who Mariah forced to change his name. Look at that. Hey, when Mariah says do something, you do it. Even change her name.
Lee again.
Oh, look at Lee doubling up.
Congrats,
buddy.
Damn marker's dying. All right, real quick, let me show you guys what the last giveaway is going to be. Will be Brock Purdy, CMC. Hopefully we'll see him run again in his career. and Nick Bosa. So they're saying, that one of the things CMC could be going to Germany for is like a stem cell, like plasma type injection. And I guess it's like not FDA approved, so like you can't do it in the United States. So like Kittle's talked about that he goes and gets them done. Like I've heard other people in the NFL players, talk about going to do it. Who knows if that's really his reasoning. I was watching, take it for what it is. I know a lot of people don't like them, but I was watching Grant and Lowell's show earlier, and Lowell said that he had reached out to a doctor and asked him, like, so CMC is going to Germany to see a doctor for, his Achilles tendonitis. And the doctor replied back and said, that they're known for tendon rupture surgery and rehab, but he's unaware of expertise in Achilles tendonitis. So who knows? Who knows if it really is torn, if it is a little tear in there, if it's really just tendonitis. Like, I don't even know what to believe at this point, what the hell is going on with CMC. Like, you're there in California where have some of the best doctors, like Stanford's right there.
So you got Stanford right there. You got
Yeah.
UCLA. I mean, there's a bunch. Yeah, there's so many of them.
It's very odd to be going, if it's for like an injection or whatever, okay, then it makes sense. You can't do it here in the United States, so you're going to try. Other players have had success, whatever. But if it's for something else, like, it's just odd to pick like Germany. Like, what is it about Dr. So-and-so in Germany that, whoever can't do here? Like, and flying, does flying all the way to Germany, that doesn't hurt it? Like, that's fine to be on a plane. I don't know.
You think the pressure would affect it or something, but I guess not. But I read something on it, and it's supposed to be some advanced technique where he could be back this season, like week 9, week 10, after the bye, allegedly. Just something I read from a doctor who talked about it online. Go from there. I don't know. So, but Mariah, like you said, like, would we even see him again this season at this rate? Like, maybe this is the reason why he was pushing for that guaranteed money, right?
Yeah.
Maybe he knew, wait, this thing is more wrong than it is right. Let me get some ducks in a row right now.
And he has guaranteed money next season too. So.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, man. It's one of those things where it's real iffy. I mean, I'm not saying I don't trust like doctors in other countries and stuff like that, but just one of those things. I just hope it's not one of these like desperate moves where it's like, I need to go ahead and just get this done, and then it hinders you long term. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, how it is when you play high school football. They kept putting that cortisone shot up in people and all this other stuff, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, go out there now. You can go out there sooner, and all of a sudden it's hurting them long term. So CMC's a smart man. It's funny you mentioned Stanford. That's actually where he went to college. You can't be no dummy. Can't be no dummy going there. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
that school don't even give athletic scholarships, only academic. That's how serious they are about their academics. So, the fact that he even went there, Kyle Juszczyk went there. So I'm sure that, I'm surprised that they don't know any doctors. Unlike you said, Mariah, unless it's something that's illegal here that we can't do. That's different. But if it's just something like a minor surgery or something, it is kind of funny that you have to go all the way to Germany to get this done. But hey, I just hope that this helps him, and he can come back. Like I said, health is wealth, and I'd rather you worry about that. And if you have to miss this season and come back stronger next year, I'm all for it. As much as I want a Super Bowl, like, it's not fair just to be, as a fan, just to be like, well, I don't care. You need to just do whatever you need to do to get back on the field. No, like, this life is temporary as a football player. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll find out in a few weeks. But I agree with you guys. I don't know when I'm gonna see that man on the field. Like it wouldn't be like when he goes to Germany, it wouldn't be surprising if it's week 10, but then it wouldn't surprise me if he didn't play at all.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. That's the status it is now. And once again, that's what brings us back to Kyle having faith in these young players, right? I'm very happy that Isaac Guerrero got more than one snap yesterday. I mean, on Sunday,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? Because Jordan Mason can't keep this up for the whole season. He runs too hard, too physical for it.
Yeah.
You're going to need Isaac Guerrero in there to take some snaps from him. At some point, we may need Patrick Taylor to get in there
Yeah.
for a couple of snaps. The run game is way too important to
In this
be
offense, for sure. Yeah.
killing your lead back.
Right.
Yeah.
This is
And
why we
use
were
them
crying
now
for
before
Jordan
you
Mason.
have
Yeah,
to.
thank you.
Like,
Yes.
Get him some burn, so when the season goes on, it's not a learning curve as much. Just let
Thank
the
you.
man get in there and
Yes.
get some snaps.
Yes.
I don't get
That's
it, man.
another key point. At the end of the season, when we really get into crunch time, clutch time, you need to win. You need these guys ready to perform. They can't be getting on the field for the first time, green, like, oh my gosh, what am I doing here? Nah, they need to be seasoned by then. So there is no doubt.
Yeah. Another one, speaking of green, is Green. Like, it's not fair to him that freaking Yedam gets to prepare as a starter all week, taking starter reps, and then gets in the game, constantly plays like ass, gets pulled, and then the rookie gets thrown in there cold, right? Like, you haven't prepared with the starters, you haven't played with the starters all week, but now get in there and save our ass. Like,
Yeah.
On the
no,
goal line.
bench that motherfucker and have Green there preparing as the starter this week. Like, I don't
Yep.
want to see that number 22 out there on the damn field starting again. Like, he's ass. Stop putting him out there. He gets burnt over and over and over and over. He's getting burnt. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Charvarius Ward, like,
yeah.
what the hell's going on with his ass? Like, the only one in the back end showing up is freaking Diamador Lenore. The
Yes,
rest
he's
are
the
all
only
playing
one.
like ass. Like,
Yeah.
freaking Charvarius Ward wants to be paid and recognized as one of the best corners in the league. Then lock up your fucking players. Stop giving up 70-yard freaking touchdowns because your old ass is getting burnt down the field. Like, I'm tired of this shit. Like, all these players, it's always the ones running their mouth that they deserve to be the highest paid. They deserve to be this with this credit and that credit and this credit and that credit. And then they don't show up. It's like, I'm over it. I'm fucking over it.
Yeah, and we were so excited about this safety room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're sitting here like Jair Mustafa, like he missed a key tackle on Sunday. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things
shit,
where
I
it's like,
expect it from him.
yeah, for sure,
It's
for
rookie,
sure,
right? Yeah.
yeah, it's rookie, yeah, for sure. But see, and that's the things where people are okay with. I think most fans are like, look, we expect a rookie to go out there and have some struggles, but at the same time, like, you need to play these guys. Like, I think, and it's funny because I look across the NFL, we're one of the few teams, like Kyle's one of the few coaches that don't want to put his rookies out there. I'm like, man, it's like, and it's funny because you look at all these other teams. Like, I seen Keon Coleman, with the Bills yesterday, go out there and get some burn. He got a touchdown, and you see the dude from Kansas City, the one Xavier Worthy. Like, these cats are out there getting their playing time. And even the who are we playing? I think it was I was watching the Dallas Cowboy game against the Baltimore. Cowboys put a rookie out there.
Oh yeah.
Like, look,
yeah.
let people go and get their lumps, man. Like, it's just I just don't get this organization sometimes. Like I said, I don't care what to say. I don't care if you're a rookie or a 10-year vet. If you're a liability, you're not going out there. Period.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned Xavier Worthy, a slender, speedy wide receiver, kind of what we drafted, and everybody was going crazy over his 2 touchdowns that first game that they played. And if you look at it, it was the simplest of plays, right? A jet sweep near the goal line, and the second one was a simple 9 route.
That's it.
Just go deep.
That's it.
Just go deep. The defense messed up and turned them loose, but the route was just go deep.
That's it. Like you said, 2
just
simple
go deep.
plays.
That's it. Simple. There's no concept to that stuff. There's no, okay, you got to stutter your step and blah, blah, blah. There are certain things that are extremely simple that these rookies can do. And in practice and stuff, you can coach them up to do the more intricate stuff. But you got to use them a bit. It makes no sense to you spend that draft capital on them. Even a 7th round pick is draft capital.
Yeah.
and you just sit on them.
Yeah. And you look at Jacob Callan, like I said, his speed, was he a 4.36 guy or something like that? I mean, the dude got burners.
Yeah.
Put
Yeah,
the man out there and change some stuff up
so it's a
because
whole different element.
absolutely, like and it's funny because when he drafted him, and I hope he's better, but I said Kyle Shanahan got his Taylor Gabriel.
Yeah, yeah,
He got
that's
his
exactly
dude
what it
from
was.
Atlanta. He got his Taylor Gabriel. He got his smaller, shifty receiver that's going to open up the whole offense with his speed. But it's like, and then for that man to get 0 snaps is just unacceptable,
Bad.
man. That's crazy.
Now, he hasn't really been worse shit since we got him and paid him anyways, but Hargrave is out for the season.
I knew you was gonna mention him.
Have to.
Like, the D-line has been total ass. Like, we thought, oh, now we finally got somebody opposite Nick Bosa. We got this, we got that. Like, no more excuses, and still fucking what's his nuts? Stafford, like, is not mobile whatsoever. I swear, was back there folding his fucking laundry on some plays. Like, it was just crazy how much time he had back there. And like, he's one of the quarterbacks. You give him time and he's going to dice you apart. It don't matter if he has big name wide receivers out there or not. And that's exactly what he did. So now, moving forward, obviously Hargrave out for the season. What do we do now? Like, if I've been saying, and I've been wanting this for already years, like, I don't even know why we let him go in the first place, but get DJ Jones back here now. He's in the last year of his contract. We can't stop the fucking run. Still, like, you went and got all these pieces to stop the run and still can't stop the run, can't stop the pass, can't stop shit. Make some moves, do something. Like, man, it's a mess.
Yeah. And it's funny you say that because Jones was so solid here. I mean, that dude, he played, as a 6th-round pick.
Yeah.
Dude's an excellent player. Dude was just an excellent player. And, and it's funny, and I'll still stand by this. You got rid of 2 D tackles that were more beneficial to your team, and then you kept Armstead instead. You know what I mean? Like, that to me was a mistake. Like, when you were going up for contracts, you did the wrong thing. I'm not gonna sit here crying over spilled milk, but I'm just saying, like, the tackles that had the most impact on our team, and I'm not talking about Eric Armstead that 1 year on a contract here where he goes out and has 2 sacks, because after that he's been lackluster as well. You got DeForest Buckner, you had DJ Jones, who were so consistent, and that's all I want. Give me consistency, game in and game out. And then when we got rid of DJ Jones, I was like, man, we're making another mistake. Like, that man is just, he's so solid. And I get it. He had a couple injuries here and there, but so did Armstead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know what it is. We cannot figure out how to stop this run. It's been just horrendous for years, and I just don't get it. So now it's looking like, man, like, is it just the Hargrave? Yeah, is it like, is it
RIP Gravedigger?
Man. So yeah, I just don't get it. Like, last 2 years we've been terrible at stopping the run.
Mm-hmm.
Really bad.
Just can't figure it out.
Nope.
Well, it ain't Steve Wilkes' fault.
At all. Matter of fact,
maybe Wilkes needs to go back up to the booth.
Matter of fact, Sorensen's defense is giving up more points per game than Steve Wilkes.
And more yards. Hello.
Yep.
More rushing yards for sure. Hello, but we don't want to talk about that. Wait, I want to go back to DJ Jones real quick. DJ Jones is the perfect example of playing a young player early, because we had him on the roster and didn't play him. He was one of those guys that was just on the bench, just never played, and then finally played like at the end of the season when someone got hurt and flashed, but then didn't play. And then didn't play, and he got hurt. He did play, and he got hurt. That's what you're referring to, TL. He got hurt like in the 2nd, 3rd year. But the end of 2019 rolls around. We let Buckner go, and instead of identifying DJ Jones, who's already on the roster, they go out and draft Javon Kinlaw. Imagine if they would have played DJ Jones early, identified what he had, developed him. You could have easily inserted him in the starting lineup
Yep.
and use that high pick for a right tackle, maybe. You see the domino effects of this kind of stuff. DJ Jones was on the roster during that trade, during that draft. But because he wasn't played, they didn't identify him. They went out, got Kinlaw instead of a right tackle, and here we are.
Yep, and it had been on the roster 2 years already because remember he came in.
That's what I'm saying.
Kyle's first coaching season in 2017. He was drafted at the same time as Kittle. And was sitting there, no playing time, and then instead of like seeing what you have in your guy, that's what I don't get. You draft these guys, see what you have in them. You let this man sit on the bench. You don't get on time. You don't develop him properly because he's not. And like I said, you can do what you want behind the scenes. You really develop in game. That's when you develop. That's when you see what you got. And then for that not to happen, and then like I said, and we're not crying over spilled milk because it is what it is. It happened. But then if just imagine you have let's just say you get rid of DeForest Buckner. Okay, cool, he's gone. You got Armstead, DJ Jones, and you get you a Tristan Wirfs. Total different ball game. You know what I mean? But
bruh, that honestly could have happened though.
Yeah, he was sitting in our lap, but Tampa Bay was like, "Oh, let me trade up." Yep. Mariah just shaking her head like, "Oh my goodness." Yeah.
Because it's like every season we talk about the same shit. We can't start off slow. We can't drop these winnable games because they end up costing us in the end. Well, look, if we would have had home field advantage, this blah, blah, blah would have played out different. Well, this is the reason why we don't get those things, because we lose fucking games that we're supposed to be winning. It's like, and then what? Like, you're going to go undefeated the rest of the fucking season? No. Like, you gave yourself no leeway now. Like, the rest of the teams got better. They're dealing with injuries across the freaking NFL.
Yeah.
Yep.
So injuries aren't a fucking excuse. And like I said, we let a team beat us that's one of the most injured in the NFL.
6 injured starters on their defense.
Yeah.
And what's so scary about this too? And I know it's early, but in football, every game matters. You know what I mean? This ain't like basketball and hockey when you're playing 82 games. You know what I mean? Every game matters. And the fact that we haven't won a game in our division yet sucks. We have one win against the AFC team.
Yeah.
So now we're last in our division for that reason alone, because we beat the Jets and then we lost to the Vikings and we lose in division against the Rams. So our conference, we haven't won any games. So we're sitting 4th right now, which is crazy. Yeah.
And like we're coming into the season and all you hear the players talk about is how good they are. And, like they're rolling into the season like they're the Super Bowl champs. Like, you're the Super Bowl losers. You didn't win shit, and yet you already came into the season. Debo's talking like they already fucking won the season, and, like players are out there talking like all this shit online and stuff. It's like, shut the fuck up and show up on the field. Like, I'm so tired of them running their mouth. And then you're either injured for half the fucking season or you don't show up in the games that we need you. It's like, all of us can sit there and talk fucking online, like you're getting paid millions of fucking dollars to do your job and you're not doing it. None of them. Kyle, all the way fucking down. Jed, all the way fucking down. You're all shit.
Jed's dad needs to show up to one of the practices again, like he did that one time on that run. Remember that?
Mommy needs to spank his ass.
Yeah.
The Pop showed up and
yeah, they need to get out there and execute. Like, stop the BS.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? There's no reason for this crap.
Hashtag smile. Last call. I'm about to draw.
Last call for alcohol this evening. Drink up, drink up, drink up, and order again.
Yeah, you're right, Mariah, about the Javon Hargrave thing. Like, he comes in here as one of the highest paid D tackles, and it wasn't even a problem for a holdout. You got paid immediately in the offseason, then you come in out of shape. He played solid. I think it was week 1, and then hasn't showed up. Then he goes and tears his bicep. Now he's gone. It's just, man.
Yeah, like we talked
Or-
about, like he didn't even have to hold out. He didn't nothing. Like we pay players from other teams, no fucking
Right away.
problem. And then it's like the whole D Ford situation again. Like you're getting a player from an op, and then you pay them all this fucking money, and then they're broken freaking China. You know, it's like thanks Eagles, thanks Kansas City. Like the teams that are trying to take us out, and they continue to do so.
And remember, he got hurt last season too.
Yeah, he did for a few games. You're right. Yeah,
he was hurt at the end of last season too. And remember, he was supposed to be that run, that pass rushing force on the inside,
on the interior,
to complement the outside guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I thought, when I was looking at the way this team was, I was like, okay, it might be 2019 all over again when we had D Ford, Buckner, Armstead. Because I was like, man, because I think Mariah and I talked about it. With Bosa and Hargrave, I'm like, man, somebody should eat on that defensive line with them getting double teamed. Hargrave getting double teamed, Bosa getting somebody should have had double digit sacks.
Yep.
And it didn't happen.
Yep. All right, I'm drawing Bosa, CMC, and then Brock. And I'm losing my voice.
Get that hashtag in there, y'all.
This for Bosa.
I want to see if it doubles up this time.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Lee, I need 6 numbers. I need to play some lottery. I need you to give me 6 numbers.
I need you to do my parlay this weekend.
You know what I mean?
This for CMC.
How much should I put on the Aces tonight? Let me know.
Rob D.
It was Rob D. My New York guy.
All right, and for Brock, the Brock star.
Brock is balling.
Remind me about the Brock injury once I get done with this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Back soreness or something.
Yeah. But one thing is for sure, the Brock discourse of how he's this and a product of this and that. I don't want to hear it anymore. No one should ever bring it up. Congrats, Bebop. Yeah, no one should ever say anything about Brock Purdy being a product of something ever again. He is a certified baller. He is a hell of a quarterback. Period.
Yep. Doesn't matter who he has out there. Doesn't matter the lack of a line that he has, the lack of protection, drops, whatever. He's gonna stand there and make the play in and play out. So yeah, like with that injury, who knows if this has anything to do with it, right? But it's reported back soreness, day to day. He had an MRI, so obviously it's not just a little soreness because you're not just having an MRI for a little soreness, like that you could have slept wrong or whatever, as the game's going on, like I have a chat that's me, Peachy, and Tanya, right? So during the game, like we're talking, all three of us back and forth, and the first quarterback sneak, I'm telling them, like, I hate the way, now I don't know if this was taught to Brock, like by, the 49ers, or if he already learned how to do quarterback sneaks on his own or how that works, right? But I hate the way that Brock Purdy does quarterback sneaks. Like it seems like he's literally trying to take his head and stick it up the ass of the players in front of him. And like we've already seen last season him get a freaking concussion doing quarterback sneaks because he just pile drives his fucking head into the guys in front of him. And like, you're hitting force on your freaking head against these big ass linemen in front of you, which then's pushing your head into your neck, into your back, and so then the second quarterback sneak comes up and I'm telling them like, fuck, I hate this shit, and once again, he shoves his head right into their asses. And I'm like, okay, I'm watching his freaking neck crinkle up, and it's just like so ridiculous. Then we get a flag or something on the play. And I'm telling them like, I don't want to see another quarterback sneak immediately, back to back, another fucking quarterback sneak.
Yeah.
Same exact thing. He smashes his fucking head. It's like, you have to teach him a better way to do that. There has to be a better way. You can't tell me that every quarterback in the league is quarterback sneaking and smashing their head up the asses of their linemen, and you're not getting anywhere. Like, you have to learn a better fucking way. Like, it's just ridiculous. Now, who knows, like I said, if that has anything to do with his injury or not. But regardless, it's going to cause injuries in the future because you're slamming your fucking head over and over and over. And we watched the same exact thing causing concussions before. And yet we're still doing it the same way. Like, it makes no fucking sense. Now the quarterback's hurt. Our backup quarterback is ass. So God forbid if Brock Purdy is, who knows how hurt he is. They're not going to tell us. They're not going to let the Patriots know if they have to prepare for a different quarterback or not.
Not until game time. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right. Yeah.
And,
Go ahead,
and
TL.
you're right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, and you're right, Mariah, about the backup quarterback situation. It's kind of like what we were talking about at the beginning of the show. It's like, I don't know what, I'm pretty sure everybody on here, Chad, all three of us saw the same thing. Why Brandon Allen is QB2 is mind blowing. We saw what Joshua Dobbs did. Like, he looked way better than Brandon Allen. So I don't know what they're talking about. So yeah, if it comes down to a point where he has to miss a game and Brandon Allen's in, I'm not gonna feel comfortable at all. Like, I don't know what Kyle's doing. This is the type of stuff I'm talking about. But yeah, I think you're right. Like, Brock is not like Brock Purdy is Josh Allen, 6'5", 240.
I was going to make that point. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
the man is small. He's 6 foot. That's like Drew Brees doing that every play. Like, you can't do that, brother. Like, and like I said, maybe it's just second nature to him because he's been doing it since he was in high school or whatever the case may be. But Brian Greasy needs to fix that. Like, look, let's find you another way to do a QB sneak. And as much as we would say about Jimmy and how sorry he was, the man could QB sneak.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was his greatest asset.
Yes, the man could QB sneak.
Right.
like, that's one thing.
Call up Jimmy. Shit.
It was funny. I felt more comfortable from him doing a QB sneak than him throwing like a 3rd and 5 first down.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, like the man could QB sneak. So
yeah,
that's one thing where, yeah, I agree with you. He has to fix that some way for safety concerns. Like, if it's effective, fine, but find a different way to do it in a similar way where you're not hitting your necks or the backside of his 300-pounders. You know what I mean? Like, that's not going to be good for the future. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's funny that you pointed that out. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Now that I think about it, he needs, and maybe that might be why he has a back issue. Because, you're pressing on your knee, like you said, putting his neck into them, all that, it's all spine. You know what I'm saying? It's all spinal. So if it has a back soreness, that's probably where it's being caused from. From the way he's QB sneaking. So that's an excellent point.
And, another point here is the way teams are now defending the QB sneak. And it's all because of stupid Philly and Philly and that stupid play. QB sneak. The QB sneak used to be lineman on lineman, and you try to make that wall and shove them back. But because of what Philly's doing, what teams have countered now is to say, hey, let's jump over the lineman and attack the quarterback directly. And they're doing that for like all QB sneaks now. It's not just Philly. So that's why you saw Brock getting them hits, because teams are now like, hey, let's go hit him directly. Let's jump over and just get that and land on them too. That's another thing. They're trying to land on the QB to get that little extra shot in. So it's funny you mentioned that, because I was, after that second and third one, I was like, all right, we got 230 something pound Jordan Mason and Isaac Guerrero. Like, it's time for them to gain a fucking yard. Like,
that's
Brock
what you have
can't
running
be
back
doing
for.
this alone.
Like, Brock's little. He's not like the size of Trey Lance out there, or Josh Allen,
Find you an agile D tackle. Remember when we used to do that play with Isaac Sopoaga?
Yeah.
We give a nose tackle the ball. He was agile. The man was pretty good for his size. But let him do stuff like that. I think Jim Harbaugh's doing that right now. Jim
Harbaugh did that.
to play fullback sometimes. Like, I'd rather
Yep.
you do that because eventually, I get it. He's, it's not happening all the time, but eventually you keep doing it and doing it over and over. It's going to affect you at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember listening to an interview with Barry Sanders, and they were talking about the shelf life of a running back. He was like,
Mhm.
offensive and defensive linemen, of course, they hit each other all the time, every play, but so do running backs.
Yeah.
Because if you're not getting the rock, you're blocking.
Mhm.
So if somebody gets through, a 300-pound defensive end edge gets through, a 200-pound running back has to hit him too.
Yep.
So you got that, then you're getting and then you're toting the rock. Even if you don't pass the first level, it's alignment at some point. That's why these running backs at some point get like 4 or 5 years down. They're like, man, I'm beat up already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then and that's just getting hit upper body, legs. This is this man's neck.
Yeah.
Like, that's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like Mariah pointed out, I'm okay with it every now and again, once in the game, blah, blah, blah. But that's like they did it 3 times on the same drive. And it's like, okay,
Yeah.
hold on. Timeout. Why do we got Kyle Juszczyk and this big other dude behind him
Isaac
for?
Orlando and
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? No, don't just get up there and push Brock in the back. No. That's not what we need.
Yeah.
Right.
You
Use
get up
Eric
there and
Saubert.
make
Use
your own
somebody. Use
hole.
somebody. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like Brock's walking away from the play and he's having to pull his neck back out, like his helmet's
gotta
all
go get
hanging off
traction.
sideways and like, oh
Yeah.
my God.
That's an excellent point. I didn't even think about that.
All right. So any closing thoughts before we get out of here?
Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah. I was going to say, at one point in that game, Fred Warner was holding his back. And then remember on that, it was one play that was even blown dead. He like hurt his knee. He was down on the field holding his knee.
Yeah.
And luckily he bounced right back. He came
That's
in
the
the
last
next
thing you
play.
need.
But it was like, I held my breath. It was like, geez. It's like, I understand why Fred back is hurting because he's holding that defense down by himself. But when he went down with that knee, it's like, dude, somebody else needs to step up. Like, he can't do it all. Like, he's shown that he can, but for 17 games, it's like somebody's got to step up and do something. And like Lee said, yes, because he's been carrying the defense for sure. That's for darn sure. And like the corners, I'm ready to see Ronaldo Green.
Insane.
And I don't care if you move Demo out to the outside and stick Green in the slot or have, Green on the outside. I think it's time to give him a shot. I think it was real unfair to throw him in the fire on the goal line and be like, hold up in man coverage, son.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Like, come on, coaching. Like, come on.
And it's funny. These men are smarter than me, obviously. They're millionaires with jobs because they've been there, done that. But there's just some stuff that it's head scratching. That reminds that's almost worse than Jimmy Ward's rookie year. Drafted as a free safety.
Yep.
Oh, you know what? We're putting you a corner. Your first game, go guard Brandon Marshall.
Yeah. Go outside and grab Brandon Marshall. He went off too.
Oh, it's like 3 touchdowns. Like, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, it's just like sometimes you gotta read the room. You know what I'm saying?
Just like we're having safeties guard freaking Justin
Jefferson.
Like what the hell are we fucking doing?
Yeah, George Odom.
Yeah,
like where's the situation
out of
with
all
football?
people?
Exactly.
You take your backup safety. Yeah, your backup safety, who's basically really just a special teamer.
Yeah.
And you're saying, hey, go man up with the best wide receiver in football. And yeah, we'll get you some help over the top. Don't worry about it. Whatever route Justin Jefferson would have ran, he would have been wide open.
Absolutely.
There's no way George Odom can guard him.
Like that's not even fair to do to the guy. Like,
no, it's like
no.
I'd be like, "Are you sure?" I would have like, if that was me, I was like, "Are you sure, coach? You sure that's what you
that's the right call?" Yeah, I would have been looking at Fred Warner like, "Yo, bro, you sure that's the right call?"
Yeah,
you sure he said that right?
Yeah. So yeah, 3 players that I need. I mean, well, obviously, I need the coaches to step up too. Like like I said, I'm putting this loss on the coaches as well. because man, there was some bad coaching in there. Terrible. Special teams, defense need to learn how to stop the run. Like put your players in positions to be the best defense as possible. Like I just don't get it. And Cauley asked earlier, should we scrap the wide 9? I mean, maybe. I mean, because what we're doing ain't working. Like, it shouldn't like. I mean, it's funny. You got people like Kyron Williams. It's like, what's that dude's name for the Patriots? Ramondre Stevenson, or he might go
Yeah.
off. Like seriously,
Mhm.
and he's a bruiser. So
Hopefully, because I got him on my fantasy team
oh,
and he only got 2 points
like
last week.
hit 100 yards and 2 touchdowns, but lose the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's one of those things. So obviously, I need the coach to step up. For the players, I'm gonna name out a couple guys. First and foremost, Nick Bosa. I need you to take over a game, brother. I need you to take over a game. Like I said, yeah, you got 2 sacks in 3 games, but 2 came in game 1. And I haven't, and it's not about the sacks, it's the QB pressures. It's about making the quarterback feel uncomfortable. I need the quarterback nervous that, oh man, I got Nick Bosa on the other side with his hand in the ground. I haven't seen that from you in a while. Like I said, the TJ Watts, the Trey Hendricksons, the even Max Crosby, he goes in there and he makes these quarterbacks feel uncomfortable. Let's keep it real here. But Nick Bosa, step it up. Brandon Ayuk, come on, brother. Week 4 now. You should be knocking off that rust. If you were working out all off season, like you were showing us people throwing you passes in between trees and stuff like that, I need you, and I get it.
He wasn't
Being
dropping
in
those.
shape, exactly. Being in shape ain't in being in football shape. It's been a month now. You reported a week before week 1, so you're going on about 5 weeks of being practicing. You should be getting back in shape. Show that you're worth top 5 receiver money, like you've been holding out for all season. And I'm gonna say somebody else too, Charvarius Ward. You too, my guy. Like you sit here, like Mariah was saying, you sit here, you want to complain, oh, I want to be paid, I want to be paid. Well, act like it. You know what I mean? It's funny. It sounds like you remember when what's that cat's name? I should know. He's on Ambry Thomas got drafted.
Yeah.
I always bring this up because I find it comical because he still hasn't done it. They asked that man, dang, you got drafted to the 49ers. What do you think about the prices in the Bay Area? He goes, oh, it's crazy, but I'm going to let my play do the talking. Well, bro, your play is silent.
I know,
They
right?
got a muzzle on your on you, bro.
What you say?
Because you ain't done nothing. So Charvarius Ward quit yapping, and that's what I'm saying. You're right, Mariah. They want to sit here and talk. Oh, give me my money, Well, then earn it. Go out there and do your thing. You want to be paid a top 5 corner? Show it, because, man, you've been getting cooked too. So, yeah, that's all I got. I think we can win this game. They got us at a -9.5, I think, which is, we're playing at home. Everybody, I mean, but don't get me wrong, like the Patriots, I wouldn't sleep on them. That defense is pretty solid, but their offense is terrible.
They got no offense.
None.
So
But their defense is pretty solid. Gerard Mayo got them playing solid on defense, but that offense needs some help. So we can't go out there and beat and score more points than this offense. We're in some serious trouble.
Well, that's what I'm looking for in this game. I'm looking for our defense to be dominant, to stop them. Like, there's no way you're giving up 100 yards rushing to that team. There's no way the quarterback should have 3 passing touchdowns or something.
No.
Like hitting 50-yard bombs. No, they do not have the offense. And Kyle should be able to dial something up against that defense so that we're putting points on the board. And I don't care if it's 6 field goals like Monday night. Put some darn points on the board. So they got to get it together. This should definitely be a game where we're in control from the beginning. And I want to see these coaches step up, especially Brian Schneider on special teams, because he's still living off his fame from the Seattle Seahawks Legion of Boom days. Them days is far gone, my friend.
Brandon Browner is not coming back.
Exactly. What have you done lately? Because you were brought in to be this guru that's going to change the special teams. And we've seen nothing but big return after big return on punts and kickoffs. We've seen freaking the field goal kicker miss. And for some reason, he doesn't practice kicking in our stadium which baffles the hell out of me. I still don't understand that one. How
Yeah.
all these coaches and owners know that the win in Levi Stadium is tricky from those 2 stupid openings, but you don't let the kicker kick in the stadium
Is
until
that what's
game
going
day.
on with Moody? Or is that for real?
Yeah, he
Moody
doesn't
doesn't
kick
practice
into.
kicks in our stadium?
Nope.
That's shameful.
And if you
So
follow me on Instagram, I mean, on all the social, you know that I met him after the Tennessee game this season. So I ain't lying.
no, I believe you. That's one thing. I've met you in person. One thing I don't take you for as a liar. So,
He was my
but
source.
yeah. So Steve-O, Moody has been perfect until that kick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be mad of a miss 55 yard. That's not a chip shot.
No.
Okay, that is not a chip shot. However, people want to sit here and keep bringing up this Brandon Aubrey. Look, that's just a special case. The man was undrafted. He's 29 years old. Been playing soccer for a few years. Like, if everybody thought he'd be that good, he would have been in the NFL a long time ago. So
Yeah.
that was just I feel like the Cowboys just got a blessing in disguise. They worked him out. He was in the AFL. He got kicked. He got what you call it, banned from the not banned. He got cut from the AFL, which is I don't know why he's in the NFL killing it, but anyway, he probably was struggling, played soccer, and now the man's he's the best kicker in football right now by far. 65 yards, 66, but like I said, and people love to still compare. Well, see, we could have got him. You don't know that. You know what I mean? Like, like I said, nobody knew this man was going to be this good.
Exactly. It wasn't like he was killing it in college.
Thank you.
Right?
He didn't even get drafted. So
he was on the street.
He was on the street. He never played for an NFL team until now. He didn't get drafted.
Exactly.
The AFL picked him up. And then he went to go play soccer, and now he's in the league. So, but yeah, Moody, now he starts missing 30, 40 yarders and starts getting in his head again like he did last year. I'll be upset, and I'll call him out. That's one thing I don't care about if you're come from my college team or not. I'm going to call you out. Like I said, if you heard earlier, Ronnie Bell, man shouldn't have been on the field. So I will have no problems calling out my guys. So.
Yeah, hopefully, with Moody, he just has a short memory. What? It's done. It's over with. Don't let it carry on to this next game and carry on to the game after that. And then if we start piling up and snowballing like it did last season, like, okay, you missed one. You've been perfect up until then. Don't let that fucking get in your head and now mess you up moving forward.
That's a good point.
I'm not worried about Moody. Like, there's plenty of fucking
other
problems on this team.
Absolutely. He is not the problem.
Yeah.
It shouldn't even have been that close if we're being real.
You know what I'm saying? Jay Moody ain't giving up 100 yards rushing.
Exactly. He ain't dropping balls. He ain't giving up a 60-yard ball to Tutu Atwell. Like, come on. Lee makes a good point. I've been noticing that as well. Thank you for bringing that up. Bosa has been slow getting off that D-line. That's probably why he's not dominating. I don't know what's going on, but the man, like I said, it's sad that, like I said, Brandon Ayuk, does he deserve to get what he's getting right now? Absolutely. The man has not been good. Okay. But why does Nick Bosa, why does he get a pass? When the man is
all
highest paid defender, been there all no, he didn't hold out. Last year you were lackluster.
You on
barely
the boat.
Getting 10 sacks. Yeah, barely getting 10 sacks. So cool. You know what? You got it, but what's your excuse now? Shouldn't get a pass. That man's not been, he's not, like I said, is he still top 10? Of course. But being paid the highest paid and not even being right now, to me, in my opinion, not even being a top 5 pass rusher is inexcusable.
Yeah. I don't know. Bunch of freaking problems, but they need to look themselves in the mirror and start at the fucking top and fix the shit, because we drop another game, like, it's starting to get in dangerous territory there. Like, we can't keep dropping these winnable games, especially.
No.
Yeah.
And there's no reason. I don't care if you're missing half your fucking team. There's no reason you can't go out there and beat the Patriots. Like,
exactly.
They're ass. They're complete shit. Like, and you've been playing like shit, but you're not shit. They are shit and playing like shit. So there's a big difference.
I mean, the Jets went out there and dominated them last Thursday night and beat them 24-3.
Right.
And I don't care if they have 2-3 days extra rest. We should go out there. Well, first of all, you should be pissed off.
Exactly.
Because of how this game ended. And you should go out there and this would be a statement game. We're back.
Yep.
That's what it should be. We're a statement game to go out there and
Like,
blow
show
them
this is the
out and
real
show
us.
exactly. Especially, and you're at home too. Shouldn't be
home,
no
yep.
excuses.
Nope, no excuses. Yeah, like the Rams, I understand division game. They're tricky. Sean McVay is an excellent
Yeah.
coach. He always has that team competing. Like, remember last year at home, we won that one. Like, wasn't it like 23-20 or something? Like, it
Yeah,
was
a
another close game.
Mhm.
The
So
last
I
few
get
games
that.
have been close.
Yeah, I
Last
get
few
that.
been close. Yeah.
Yeah, the Rams, okay, I get that. Even though we imploded, should have won, we know it's going to be close no matter what. This Patriots game, there's no excuses.
Mm-mm.
None. Like, I ain't trying to hear none of this. You get your asses on the field and get it done. You're at home. You should be pissed. You should be making a statement here, like you said, like, okay, this is the real 49ers.
Denise is correct. I mean,
Yeah.
Brock Purdy, of course, he's been playing okay. I mean, his last game, but yeah, as far as all 3 games, it definitely has been Fred Warner. He's been
Oh, yeah.
he's been the
He's
man.
been
Like he's
probably
deep
like
boy
one
at
of the
this
best
point.
players in football, period.
Football,
Oh,
period.
yeah.
Yeah. Like
Mhm.
when they vote, he should be top 5. The same if he keeps his play up.
Yeah.
Might as well
Yeah.
call this team San Francisco Fred Warners at this point.
I know,
'cause
right?
he's
Serious.
the
The
only
Warner House
motherfucker out
is Levi Stadium.
Him
Well, he
and
says he
Mason.
stays
Yeah.
all off season. He lives there, around there. Like,
Mhm.
you know, we used to see all those commercials. This is why I hated freaking Baker, because when he played in Cleveland, remember we used to see all those commercials,
The
like
Baker
insurance
House or
company,
whatever it
he's there
was.
mowing the
Yeah.
grass and
Yeah.
like he's like cleaning the bleachers and shit. Like he lives there, you know. Like I hated him just for that reason of those commercials.
Mhm.
Like I was so glad when he got traded out of there, just so we didn't have to see those commercials again. Now I like him. But that's what reminds me of Fred Warner. Like he needs to get a deal with that insurance company because like he literally is the heart and soul of this San
Yeah.
Francisco 49ers team. Like
Yeah.
the man is just a stud every single year. Talk about
No matter
consistency.
what.
Like
Yeah.
like his picture should show up in the dictionary when you look up consistency because
Absolutely.
man, like to be at the top of your freaking game and just consistent, like game in and game out. And every year he somehow finds a way to get better. You know, Ty, we talk about Asia, you know, perfect example. Like you think that she's the best in the game, and yet somehow in the offseason, she still finds something to add to her game to make it just a little bit better, you know, so that she continues to get better and better and better. Exactly what Fred Warner does. Who knows what he's tweaking, but somehow he manages to show up the next season and dominate more than he did the year before. And it's just like crazy to see.
You know what's great about Fred Warner is whenever he does have a bad stretch, he corrects it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like remember what was it last year when we had Steve Wills, he said he was playing kind of poorly because he was overcompensating.
Yep, he was trying to do too much.
Trying to do too much, and he was like, "Now I'm gonna let the game just come to me," and then he fixed it, and that's what I love about him. That's what great players do, man. I had 2 games that wasn't me. What am I gonna do? Let me watch the film to see what I've been doing. He recognized it. I'm overcompensating. That's what and he fixed it, and then going back to his beast mode. So yeah, and before we go, I know you want to hurt him, get him right. Your voice is losing, but yeah, Malia is right, and it goes off of what your point was, Mariah, about Nick Bosa. You have to go back to 2022 to see when Nick Bosa was actually dominant and taking over games when he had 19 sacks or 18 and a half sacks, whatever the case may be. Like, you know, and we should see that every single year from that guy. I mean, what was it? TJ Watt missed 2 years ago or whatever, missed a full season, played game 1, came back the next year, almost 20 sacks. Like that's what I need. That's what I need. I don't want to hear no excuses. Oh, well, he's changing defensive coordinators. I don't give a damn. That man, Fred Warner, like you said, Ty, is more on your plate as a linebacker of being like a play caller of the defense.
Yeah.
than
it is with you. Just put your hand in the ground and get to the quarterback.
Bosa's coaches stayed the same. So
That's true.
everybody else is trying to come here and play with that coach because you don't have to think. You get to play fast. You just get to do your job. Just get to rush the passer.
Excellent.
Well, what's
point.
Bosa's excuse?
Been there. That's the excellent.
Chris
point.
Eric's his mantra is GTFO, right? Get the F off. Like get off the line and go. Well, there's been a little less GTFO the past year and 3 games.
Absolutely.
More SLOW.
Yeah, slow for sure. But yeah, no, that's true.
All right, y'all. We're getting out of here. I'll be back Thursday with Steph at 3 Pacific time for the Two Goat Show. Ty, when's your next show?
We're doing the East Coast Red and Gold show tomorrow at 5:15 p.m., 5:15 p.m. Pacific, 8:15 p.m. Eastern. Raj will be joining us, so tune into that, everybody.
All right, there you have it. We're out of here. Till next time, me and Ty will see you Monday. TL, you'll see him sometime. But yeah, make sure you're subscribed to both mine and Ty's channel. The link to his channel is in the description box of this video. So if you're not already subscribed, make sure you click that and go subscribe. We're out of here, faithful.